Have you ever felt, completely stuck? Like you're running in a loop you just can't seem to break? Well, today, we're not just going to talk about wanting to change, we're going to get into the science of how to do it. Think of this as your practical, no-fluff guide to literally rewiring your brain for some serious mental strength.
It sounds so simple, right? But we all know it's anything but. Change is hard. And that's usually because we're trying to fix our actions without ever touching our mental source code. The real work, the stuff that actually lasts, it all starts inside your mind.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with a starting point for any real change. Then we'll look at the two minds you've got running the show. We'll get into the proof that your brain is not fixed, cover 3 super practical techniques for rewiring it, and finally, wrap it up with how you can take control of the whole process.
So, where do we even begin? It all starts with this one big idea. If you don't consciously grab the steering wheel and design your future, you're just going to keep getting a repeat of your past. This is all about you getting into the driver's seat of your own psychology.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts right here. Your thoughts, your habits, your core beliefs, they're like these invisible scripts running in the background, telling you what to do. And those actions, well, they create your entire reality. We're about to dig into the psychological tools you need to rewrite those scripts for good.
Now, if you're going to reprogram your mind, you've first got to understand the hardware you're working with, right? Your mind basically has 2 parts, 2 co-pilots with very, very different jobs. Let's get to know them.
Okay, think of it like this. Your conscious mind, that's the captain up on the deck of the ship. It's steering, making choices, analyzing things. But your subconscious mind, that's the massive engine room down below. It's running everything automatically, your breathing, your heartbeat, and yeah, all those ingrained habits and gut feelings.
But here is the absolute kicker. The power dynamic? It's not 50-50. It's not even close. That conscious, thinking mind of yours, it's only responsible for about 5% of your daily mental activity. The other 95%? Whoa! That's your subconscious running the entire show on complete autopilot. Let me put that 95% into perspective for you. It means your subconscious mind is roughly 19 times more powerful than your conscious mind. So if you're trying to make a change using just willpower, you're basically in a fight you can't win. For real, deep, lasting change, you've got to speak to the supercomputer that's actually in charge, your subconscious.
Okay, I can already hear the skeptic in you. You might be thinking, look, this is just who I am. I'm wired this way. Well, I've got some incredible news for you from the world of modern neuroscience. Your brain is absolutely not fixed. And this right here, this is the thought that stops so many of us in our tracks. This belief that our patterns are just permanent. But the science, it tells a completely different and way more hopeful story.
And that story is called neuroplasticity. It's the proven scientific fact that your brain can physically change its own structure and function based on your thoughts and your experiences. This means you can literally build a new mind. At any age, it's a total game changer.
There's this famous saying in neuroscience that just nails it. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Think about it. Every time you have a thought, a specific set of brain cells fires off. The more you have that thought, the stronger that connection gets. It's like carving a path in a forest. Your job is to start walking a new path, over and over, until it becomes the main road.
So, how do you do it? It's really a 3-step process. First, awareness. You just have to catch yourself in the act. Notice the old pattern. Second, practice. Right in that moment, you have to consciously choose the new way of thinking or acting. And third, and this is key, repetition. You do it again and again and again until that new pathway is stronger than the old one.
Okay, so we know our brain can change. We've got the science. But how do we actually do it? Let's get super practical with 3 powerful, evidence-based techniques you can use to start that rewiring process today.
We're going to walk through 3 big ones: cognitive restructuring, visualization, and affirmations. These are going to be your go-to tools for becoming the architect of your own mind. First up, cognitive restructuring. This comes from cognitive behavioral therapy, and the idea is pure genius. Listen to this. You can't always control that first automatic thought that pops into your head. That's your old programming. But you can always control your second thought. That's where your power is. So let's say you make a mistake at work, and boom, that immediate thought hits you. I always screw things up. That's a classic automatic negative thought, an ant, just crawling up from your old subconscious wiring.
So what do? The first step is to challenge it.
You have to ask yourself a simple question. Hold on, is this thought actually true? And more importantly, does it help me? Does believing this get me closer to where I want to go? The answer, almost always, is a big fat no.
And the next step is crucial. You consciously replace that thought with cold, hard evidence to the contrary. Don't just argue with it, hit it with data. Remind yourself, no, actually, I graduated near the top of my class, or I did lose those 20 pounds. You do this over and over, and eventually that second thought becomes your new first thought.
Technique number 2, visualization. This is where you create a super detailed mental movie of you achieving your goal. But here is the secret sauce. It's not enough to just see it. You have to feel it. Feel the pride, the excitement, the relief, as if it's already happened. That emotion, that's the language your subconscious mind really understands.
And if you think this is just some woo-woo stuff, get this. A study in the Journal of Applied Sports Psychology looked at golfers. The ones who just mentally rehearsed making their putts, visualized it, showed massive real-world improvement. Why? Because their brains literally couldn't tell the difference between vivid imagination and actual practice. How cool is that?
And finally, technique number 3, affirmations. Now, these are just simple, positive statements you repeat to yourself consistently. Think of it like you're installing new, better software on your mental hard drive. And there's real science here. Research shows that doing this actually lights up the parts of your brain tied to how you see yourself, boosting self-esteem and well-being.
You know, when you boil it all down, it all comes back to one thing: control. These techniques we just talked about, cognitive restructuring, visualization, affirmations, they're not just neat little mind tricks. They are the actual tools you use to become the active programmer of your own mind. So let me leave you with this thought. Right now, your beliefs and your automatic thoughts are the result of years and years of programming, from your parents, your teachers, your experiences. In a very real way, you've been brainwashed your entire life. So the question is, now that you know you have the tools, why not take control of the programming and intentionally brainwash yourself for the life you actually want?